back to my channel. So today I thought I would do something a little bit different and go and do a comparison on my Ep3 and Ryan's Dc5. So the Ep3 and the Dc5 are quite different cars, but they're quite similar in a lot of ways as well. So I'm just going to go and do a comparison on them. I feel like the Dc5 is the Ep3's older brother, bearing in mind that my Ep3 was only bought as a budget build and for a bit of fun, and Ryan's Dc5 is his good car. So I'm just going to get into the video. Let's go. So we're just in the Ep3. I'm going to start with the interior. Okay, so my most favourite thing about the Ep3 is that the gear knob comes out of the dash. It's probably my most favourite thing about the Ep3. The gear knob there is really handy if you are going to take the Ep3 out on track, or if you want it for a bit of fun. It's really handy to just bang gears. So easy to get, and yeah, it's a lot more handy. Also, the Ep3 has the silver sort of background in the sort of centre of the dash, which is probably quite unusual in a Honda. Most of the time they are just their plain black dashes, but yeah, it sort of breaks up the dash a little bit. While I'm in this video, if anyone has a cigarette lighter for the Ep3, an OEM one, please let me know and I'll buy it off you, because I can't actually find one anywhere. So yeah, the interior is pretty simple. I would say that the Ep3 compared to the Dc5 is more of a car for daily driving. It's got all the little extras for a comfortable drive, like it's got quite a lot of cup holders. It's got another two in below here, and it's got one at the back as well. So yeah, it's got quite a few little cup holders and places to put stuff. It is much more of a daily car where you can just enjoy driving it. So then onto the steering wheel, and compared to the Dc5, it's not much of a difference compared to the Dc5, but the Dc5 has got a Momo steering wheel, which I will show you now in a moment. So yeah, it's quite different from how it would be in the Dc5, but I'll go and show you it now, and you can just see for yourself the difference in the interior. Okay, so we'll just talk about the seats in the Type R. So we have got the classic Type R logo in the bucket seat, which has also got then the red plastic bit in the middle. We come on and we've got like, I'm not even sure, I'm assuming it was like a suede effect back in the day when it came out. It's not really suede now, it's more cloth. The back of it's a bit suede material. So then it's just my seats need a good clean, because I haven't had the car long, but the seats need a good clean. So then you come down and we've got the red middle bit, which is quite nice, and I would say yeah, they are really comfortable seats and I do like them. So yeah, as you can see, it's just a really simple design by Honda, and yeah, it's just made for comfortable driving and for daily driving. You could definitely take it on the track. And another thing is, if you are wanting to track your Ep3, it is super simple to take a lot of the parts out and to take the dash and door card. Everything is really easy to take apart, so it would be good to make it a bit more lightweight. So I'm just in the Dc5 now. The first thing which stands out in the Dc5 compared to an Ep3, and probably quite a few of the Hondas which I've ever been in, is that the centre bit here sits out and it faces the driver, which is quite cool. So the Dc5 has its little knobs just above the doubled in. So they do come with the space for the doubled in. Ryan has upgraded his one to a Pioneer one, which is pretty good. We were looking at the dashboard in the Ep3. Maybe it's coming across as white on the camera, I'm not too sure, but it's silver and it's a really simple, nice, clean design. Also mentioning that the Dc5 is also a Japanese import, so things are quite cool in it, and it's a lot nicer. The interior to me is a lot nicer than the Ep3. Bearing also in mind that the Dc5 is probably about 3 times the price of my Ep3 anyway, and most Ep3s. The Ep3 and the Dc5 do not have that much of a different steering wheel, apart from the fact that the DC5 has a Momo steering wheel, which is kind of a cool touch, and it makes it that bit more unique. One of the really cool features of having an imported DC5 is that it has a flare holder in the corner. That's not a real flare, but it has came from Japan, but it's not an actual real flare, but they do come with the actual flare holder itself. So talking about the gear stick in the EP3, it sits out from the dash, sort of from this area here, and the DC5 is just right here, but it's still in a really convenient, easy place to get, and it's just a simple design, and it works. It's the same as most Hondas come, with the sort of leathery feel of the gator and just the normal nice silver gear knob, and it works really well with the DC5. Then Ryan has just added his own touch to the car and put his Broadway mirror, which he bought, and yeah, it just adds a bit more of a JDM feel to the inside of the DC5. It also comes with all the little stickers in Japanese, which is kind of cool and gives it that JDM feel, as I was saying before. And then your baby seat warning is in Japanese too. Onto the seats in the DC5, they are just black suede bucket seats, and to be honest, they're a whole lot nicer than the ones in the EP3. So I'm just going to show you around the engine bays and see the comparisons between the two. So this is the EP3 engine bay. So the EP3 has a K20A2 and it has a 6-speed non-LSD gearbox. So this is one that was built in the UK and it's not a JDM EP3. So it is a 2-litre VTEC and it came out of the factory with around 197 brake horsepower. So my EP3 has a Toyo Sports manifold and catback. It also came with a Typhoon K&N air filter, which I'm going to change. So yeah, that's going to be changed. And I also done a bit of a refurb on the rocker cover and painted it in Wrinkle Red, just to tidy up a little bit. I haven't really had the car too long, so the engine bay will definitely get a good tidy up. So now moving on to the DC5 engine bay. It is a whole lot nicer than the EP3 engine bay, but Ryan has a lot of aftermarket bits put on as well. So like I was saying before, the DC5 is a Japanese import, so it is a K20A. The DC5 came with a 6-speed LSD gearbox, unlike the EP3. So the K20A in the DC5 came with a short ratio gearbox in 3rd, 4th and 5th gear. It came from the factory with around 220 brake horsepower. So we have tried to clean the DC5 engine bay up quite a lot and it does look really good. So aftermarket parts Ryan has got include the Tigiwa air filter, the red hoses, the carbon fibre intake cover and the spark plug cover in carbon as well. He has also refurbed his rocker cover in Wrinkle Red paint. He's got his little reservoir socks. He got a red tie battery holder as well, just to match all his red hoses in the engine bay, and I'm sure you all can agree it does make it look that little bit nicer. Yeah, I'm looking at this, it makes the EP3 look like nothing compared to it. He's also got a Tigiwa manifold with a custom B pipe which goes on K-tuned back box, which looks really cool. He's just got that as well, so yeah, it looks cool. So now I'm just going to do the exterior of the cars. The EP3 is more of a hatchback sort of car and Ryan's is more of a coupe or coupe. So I'll just show you around them now and see the difference in both cars. So I'll just show you quickly around the EP3 and you can see for yourself just the differences. Like I said, this is much more of a hatchback car. It's just got the classic Civic back end on it and the normal Type R wheels which come with them. So the DC5, like I was saying, is much more like a coupe or coupe. Yeah, it turns heads a bit more than the EP3 would. These are the wheels which came on the DC5. Obviously the difference with this and the EP3 is that it's got the big spoiler on the boot and it has got the different recess for the number plate to sit in, and obviously the lights are longer. And DC5s come with Brembo brakes as standard from Honda. So yeah, you can just sort of see the Brembo brakes in there. So the EP3 and the DC5 are around the same age and obviously made by the same manufacturer, but they have such different little characters about them. So you can just make up your own mind. Considering the EP3 is roughly around a £2,000 to £3,000 car, and you could pick up a DC5 for around 7 to 8, you can decide which one you would have depending on if you had the money to buy either of them. Like I've said before, I bought my EP3 as a budget build for just a bit of fun alongside my Audi, and Ryan got his DC5, which is really his daily car, which he drives all the time, and yeah, it's just his, as we say, good car. So now we're going to go and drive both of the cars and see the differences in how they drive and have a little bit of a vtec. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the video. I thought this video might have just been a little bit of a fun comparison video, and it might actually help someone who is thinking about getting some sort of Honda, even if they're trying to think about just getting an EP3 and they're not deciding between an EP3 or a DC5. It might give them a little insight on what the cars are like. So in my opinion, you just seen the inside of the EP3 to DC5. The DC5's interior to me is a bit nicer. You also seen the outside of the EP3 and the DC5. Again, I prefer the look of a DC5. At the same time, a DC5 is a lot more expensive than an EP3. Hence why I bought the EP3, because I just wanted something that was a bit cheaper and a bit more fun, just to have a play about in. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, but I still wanted something that was a bit quicker. My Audi isn't obviously that quick. If I had the money for both of the cars, I would have bought a DC5. To be honest, if I had the money for a DC5, I would have bought an S2000, but that's a completely different video altogether. You can decide for yourself which one you would buy if you had the money. Like I say, you can pick up an EP3 for around £2,000 to £3,000, whereas you can pick up a DC5 for around I would say around £7,000 to £9,000, depending on what you're getting, miles and year and stuff. So it's a lot to think about if you are thinking about getting either of the cars. Is there that much difference for the money? Really, no, there's not. So that is just how I feel about the car. So I just hope that shows you the difference in the two cars. I have just got to 1,000 subs, and I can't thank you guys enough for getting me there. If it wasn't for you guys, I would not have got that. And to everyone else, it might not seem like a lot, but to me, I haven't been doing it very much. I've been doing YouTube maybe 4 or 5 months. So yeah, it means quite a lot to me. It just means that I can keep continuing to make videos and you guys enjoy it. I said I would do my giveaway this week. I haven't even got it sorted. I've worked 89 hours this week, and I've literally tried to fit this video in for you because I am trying my hardest to get the videos out every week like I said I would. So yeah, I haven't had much time. The 89-hour week killed me. I had a lie-in this morning because I was so tired, and the 89-hour week has definitely ruined me. But I will be doing a giveaway. I promise I will be getting it done. I'm just trying to figure out what I can do, because the thing is, I have quite a lot of American subscribers, so if I'm going to do a giveaway, it's very hard for me to find something which I can get through customs and post it to you guys in America if you win the giveaway, because it wouldn't be fair just trying to get something and then I can't give it to someone in America. So I'm trying to work out a way which I can do that. So you guys, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.